Have you ever been aware of how your thinking can change a calm instant into a whirlwind of anxiety in just seconds? 1 second, everything seems normal, and suddenly, you're overwhelmed by worries about what could possibly fail down the road. What if you learned there's one simple thought that can bring an end to constant worry? A mental shift so effective that it can guide you back to serenity in the blink of an eye, despite how crushing your anxieties seem today. Stick around, because what I'm preparing to explain could shift dramatically about your daily existence, particularly for those past 60 and feel like anxiety has become your ever-present burden. Based on compilations of scientific studies performed by universities worldwide and educational health publications freely distributed by established organizations, this resource was crafted to deliver the latest insights especially designed for the over 60 population. And before we proceed, if you're facing challenges with anxious thoughts, speeding mental distress, or that constant feeling of tightness in your chest area, do me a favor right now. Tap the subscribe option and activate the notification bell because this channel focuses on sharing applicable wisdom that really operates in daily life, as opposed to just philosophical ideas that feels right but accomplishes nothing when you're tossing and turning at the middle of the night. Let me pose a question to you now. How long has it been since you felt truly peaceful? Not distracted, not in a state of numbness, but genuinely at peace. For a large number of us, especially as we get older, it appears that calm is something from our distant past, something we experienced before obligations accumulated, before we started stressing over health complications, money matters, relationship difficulties, and the pressure of unfulfilled dreams about alternatives not chosen. Anxious thoughts become perpetual background chatter, this ever-present shadow muttering potential disasters and doomsday outcomes. But here's what's genuinely true that therapists and awareness scholars have proven via sustained research. Worry cannot survive in the now. Absorb that statement. Anxious thoughts have no place in present awareness. It defies the nature of reality. Anxiety is always about something that hasn't happened yet, or something that happened before. It dwells exclusively in the cognitive territory of what was and what might be, never in what is right now. Consider this. When you're in a state of worry, what are you genuinely fearful of? You're concerned about an upcoming medical visit, a conversation that awaits, a bill that's coming due, or you're reliving previous situations, a mistake you made, words you wish you could take back, opportunities you missed. But currently, at this specific point, as you're absorbing this content, is everything fine? Not tomorrow, not in the past, but in this exact second. Your cardiovascular system functions, respiration continues, you have life at this second. And in this present reality, minus all the storylines about history and possibility, nothing is truly amiss. This constitutes the singular thought that eliminates worry permanently. My being is in the now. 3 simple words. I occupied this current instant. Not I'll arrive somewhere eventually. Not I was somewhere earlier. I exist presently. This goes beyond simple positive mindset or just an encouraging slogan to post on your wall. This represents a core reality about the essence of anxious thinking and the power of present moment awareness. When you place your entire awareness to the actual present, when you truly ground yourself in the living present, worry evaporates because it has no platform. It's like trying to be afraid of darkness once illumination arrives. The shadow simply disappears. Permit me to describe a situation about a person known as Margaret, a woman whose story came to my attention from a wellness center that serves older adults. Margaret, at age 72, and had dealt with continuous fear for most of her adult life. After her husband passed away, the fear grew stronger. She endlessly concerned herself with her physical state, about being a burden to her children, about depleting her savings, about experiencing a lonely end. She would start each morning with tension throughout her chest, her thinking already in overdrive through everything that could go wrong that day. She attempted medication regimens, she sought professional mental health support, she attempted perpetual occupation, but nothing provided enduring peace. One particular day, during an especially severe panic episode, her daughter offered a simple question. "Mother, direct your attention to me. Right now. Are you okay?" Not eventually, not in the coming hour, but in this precise instant. Margaret halted, looked at her daughter, filled her lungs, and became aware that in that precise instant, she was genuinely all right. Nothing wrong was transpiring at that moment. The anxiety was about hypothetical tomorrows, not present reality. That became her life-shifting realization. Margaret initiated performing what she termed her immediate awareness checks. As nervous energy started building, she would stop and ask herself, at this point, am I really okay? And in most instances, the reality was yes. She was breathing, she was out of danger, she was existing. The actual now developed into her protected space, her stabilizing center when her mental state endeavored to yank her into turbulent seas of apprehension. As time progressed, the anxiety attacks became less frequent, less powerful, because she discovered how to interrupt herself before tumbling into hypothetical scenarios. She came to know that she had a choice: remain in her nervous cognitions about what lies ahead, or remain in the tranquil reality of this moment. This illustrates what investigations into contemplative practice and now consciousness research has demonstrated. Academic work from places like the Harvard Medical Research Facility and the Massachusetts Academic Institution have confirmed that contemplative disciplines, which are essentially exercises in present awareness, can greatly reduce fear and strain. Investigations have demonstrated that when people train themselves to remain in the now, their brain physically transforms. The brain's alarm system, the part of the brain managing stress responses, becomes more calm, while simultaneously regions connected to attention and emotional regulation grow more robust. Put another way, staying in the now is not simply a thought exercise. It's literally changing your neural pathways to be less apprehensive and more centered. But this is where most people hit a wall. They assume being present means you cannot prepare for tomorrow or benefit from previous experiences. That's not the intention. Obviously, you should organize, to prepare, to preserve learned experiences. The difference is whether you're contemplating what's coming from a now-centered perspective or from a standpoint of nervous energy. When you're centered in this moment, you can look at future concerns with clarity and take practical action. When you're engulfed in apprehension, you're simply rotating in thinking patterns that create no positive outcomes. A substantial contrast appears between constructive preparation and anxious worrying. Foresight asks, what can I do in the present to get ready for the future? Worried spiraling asks, what dreadful situation might arise that I'm powerless over? One empowers you, the other freezes you. If something here speaks to you, if something resonates for you currently, post a comment underneath with the numeral 1. Just the number 1. That's how I can tell this wisdom finds people who are seeking it, and it allows this content to find further people who are dealing with fear. And if you're not subscribed already, kindly do so now, because we're creating a community of people who pick quiet over anxiety, being present over fretting, and I hope you'll join us in this. Let me provide you a practical tool you can use at once. Whenever next you detect nervous energy building, those known experiences of your chest area tensing, your consciousness racing, your body tensing up, do this. Pause your current activity. Position one hand on your chest and one hand on your abdomen. Close your eyes if you can. Take a slow, deep breath in through your nose, noticing your belly swell. Then expel air gradually via your lips. As you perform this breathing, express to yourself, I exist in this moment. I draw breath. I am among the living. I am okay right now. Complete this 5 rounds, 5 respiratory cycles, 5 statements of current reality fact. What you're doing is drawing your focus away from the fabricated futures your mental state is fabricating and anchoring it in the physical sensations of your corporeal presence now. Your breathing stays constantly in the now. You are unable to inhale oxygen from the past or air from tomorrow, just this now breath in this instant. This creates your breathing as the supreme mooring to guide you to this moment. Another practice that many individuals regard as helpful is called the 5 senses practice. When fear emerges, recognize 5 things in your visual field now. 4 things you can touch, 3 things you're able to listen to, 2 smells you notice, and 1 thing you can taste. This directs your focus into the immediate present through your senses, and worry cannot hold on when you're totally focused on present sensory experience. Try it. You might find it remarkable how quickly the apprehensive thinking loses potency when you're perceiving the physical awareness of your feet against the ground, the calls of birds beyond, the coffee flavor persisting in your oral cavity. Each of these represents immediate reality experiences, and anxious thoughts have no ground to stand on when you're completely present. Let me tackle a vital point for those of us over 60. There often emerges this belief that we should have conquered this by this point, that anxious thoughts are somehow a failure on our part after all this time of life lessons. Pay close attention to this. Your nervous energy is not a personal flaw. It's not a sign that your life has been meaningless or that you're inferior. Anxious thoughts are natural human experiences that can develop into an overreaction, particularly when we've experienced much, when we've faced bereavement, when we're meeting the truths of advancing age. The world repeatedly encourages us to fear getting old.